Your reading from Monday comes from Norman Johnson's Form of Constraint, and in fact, the picture on the front of the cover of his book depicts people who are interred in a dungeon. I just wanted to give you a few tips to help you orient yourself to the reading. First, read the syllabus. It contains important directions. Second, do not feel that you have to memorize or be responsible for the details that are part of this chapter. It doesn't matter the exact dimensions of the cells that he describes. And I'm never going to ask you who owned a particular castle or what year it was born, what year it was built. Don't worry about details like that. Just read for the more general and important ideas. There's a term that appears in the reading that is used in a different sense in the reading than you might be familiar with it, and that term is state prisoner or prisoner of state. In the context of the Johnson reading, it refers to what we would today call a political prisoner. That is, somebody who has not been adjudicated in a court of law or convicted of any sort of criminal offense, but has been deemed to be a threat to the authority of the day and thrown into a dungeon for that reason. So perhaps it was somebody who was plotting a rebellion against the king or was seen as a political threat to a lord or a baron. That's what's meant by prisoner of state or state prisoner. Finally, I think the very last paragraph in the chapter is the most important. It's in that chapter that Johnson makes the point that most of the people who were held in dungeons were prisoners of state or state prisoners, as was the case, and that they had not been sent there as part of any judicial punishment. They hadn't been sentenced to confinement in a dungeon. They were simply thrown in a dungeon. Sometimes they were thrown in a dungeon pending execution or banishment. Sometimes they were expected to rot in a dungeon. On that note, I hope you enjoy the reading as much as anybody can enjoy a reading on dungeons, and I look forward to seeing you on Monday.